Hello, namaste, ladies and gentlemen. The warmest welcome to day 5 of 15th ICCCNT presented by IEEE and hosted in the beautiful IIT Mandi. Can we have a big round of applause, of course, to yourselves, to IEEE and to IIT Mandi. What a pleasure it is for me, Nikita Rana, to be your host today. Of course, before we start, the people sitting in front of me and watching, you've been on the hearing and for the longest time, so we have to get in touch with you. So let's start with, how many of you were present for day 1? Wow, whoever's raised their hand, I have a question. What is your biggest learning of day 1? Let's start with that. This is a super rapid fire we're going to do for the next 3 minutes. Day 1, what was your biggest learning? Now nobody is raising their hands. Everybody's like, oh, you weren't present. Can we have a mic, please? Can we have a mic? Yes. Super rapid fire, camera is rolling. This is your claim to fame. 15 minutes of fame starts right now. Please stand up. Anybody? Anybody? Wow. Sirs, come all dressed up for this. The question paper was leaked, unfortunately. Yes, sir. What's your name?
My name is Shreyans Misra. I am from Dronachar Group of Institution, which is in Greater Noida.
Ji.
Ma'am, I presented the paper and I think I do well in that, and I think I learnt a lot because the hesitation which came earlier, that's go down after it.
Arey wow. And this is an example of it, right? The fact that you're taking the opportunity to communicate again. Yes, please, Mishra.
Yes, ma'am. And I met many members who are came here. So that's the connection building problem is also went down, I think, after it.
Wow.
And ma'am, I think IIT Mandi is best view in itself, and I think exploring this campus is awesome moment for us all.
Mr. Mishra, you've come prepared with the speech. Fantastic. Can you have a big round of applause? So you were present for day 1, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your presence and taking out time from your busy schedule to be here. Thank you again.
Thank you.
All right. So just continuing with the trend, day 2. How many of you are present at day 2? Now nobody is raising their hand. So we'll have to go through the CCTV footage or any video. How many of you were present at day 2? How many of you were present at day 2? Day 2? Sir, you were present at day 2? Day 1, do you remember anybody who was there the next day? Ma'am, right there. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Very quick. This is super rapid fire game. The entire segment is waiting. The leaders are waiting. Yes, ma'am. Day 2. What was your biggest learning? Just one line. What's your name?
Myself Sheila. I present a paper on day 2. That was my first paper. I found it interactive with the experts and colleagues, and it was nice experience for me. And I enjoyed the campus here.
Wonderful, ma'am.
Beautiful location.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Very quickly, day 3. Who was present for day 3? Day 4? Nobody is present. You've just come in for the felicitation awards directly. This is great. Okay, so I understand you've done a lot of talking and you're like, that's it, enough with the talking already. Now let's start with the award session. From team IEEE, I want somebody to please stand up. Somebody, a representation from IEEE. Kamesh sir. Sir, one reason, all the way from USA, one reason why students, you have to be the brand ambassador for IIT Mandi. One reason why students should join IIT Mandi.
I mean IIT Mandi or IEEE or both?
Sir, IIT Mandi. You are representing IEEE, so IIT
Okay,
Mandi.
all right. In fact, I toured, I went around the labs. So many projects, so many live projects, not just on paper. And then every student, specifically I talked to each student, what exactly they're doing. In fact, my questions were, who defined the problem? More than the solution, okay? Is it you, or is the professor, or advisor, or the funding agents? What I realized is the students are contributing significantly. So I think based on my understanding, it's a wonderful university, and the engagement of faculty and then the students is very active. In fact, that day we were all coming from the outside, and a lot of people the lab was full. It's all holiday season, but still the lab is full, very active, very engaging, and the students were able to take time to explain what exactly they are doing. I see the passion, I see the creativity. I'm so glad to see that kind of synergy and energy, you know. So I would recommend IIT Mandi to many people. In fact,
My God. So beautifully put, sir. This should be in IIT Mandi's website for sure. Now, somebody from IIT Mandi. Can we have somebody from IIT Mandi, please? Professor Dutt, no, I want the management from IIT Mandi. Sir, please, sir. We had IEEE leader give you one entire paragraph on why students should join IIT Mandi. So from representation of, the highest representation from IIT Mandi, one reason why students should join IEEE.
Oh yeah, so not one, there are several reasons why they should
Of
join
course, sir.
IEEE. One simple reason I joined way back, somebody told me I could get a job if I was an IEEE member. Okay, this was when I was a BTech student, and it really worked out. They actually have a job portal on which you can go as a member and access all the careers available, and you can apply as well. So this is one reason for a student to go for IEEE, but there are other benefits. There are societies, and there are different societies in IEEE where you can become, like Electronic Packaging Society is sponsoring this conference. They have their own journal, and if you're a member, you also get discounts in conferences. You also get the latest greatest from that society. You subscribe to the Spectrum magazine, and you also hear what others are doing. So it allows you to also understand as a researcher what is happening in cutting edge. And if you want to do something similar, you could do that. So these are some of the
fantastically
reasons,
put, Professor
which
Dutt.
came to my mind quickly.
My God, fantastically put. Let me just tell you, by the way, all of this is on the spot. Nothing has been prepared. The answers that have come across by the leaders of IEEE as well as IIT Mandi has been through experience. Right, so fantastically put. Thank you so much. And of course, with this, we start with the very first segment, requesting Professor Vallaramathi, all the way from Chennai. Ma'am, please come on up. The audience awaits for you for the opening note. Can we have a big round of applause for Professor? Ma'am, stage is all yours. Thank you so much.
Very good morning to all. I am so much honored to be here for this 15th edition of ICCCNT in IIT Mandi. The place is so good and it's a great experience for all of us. And I enjoyed the stay. And I thank you all for your time and attention for this conference. And many people have come to this conference and take it as a platform to present your research articles and papers, and you are networked with many learned professors and other technocrats, and I hope that you have enjoyed these sessions. I also learned a lot during these sessions and interacting with professors in this university, and I am happy that this conference has grown in a very big way from 2008 to 2023, and I am happy to be a part of it. And request all the young minds always to be very fresh and energetic and contribute in this forum in future too. I hope we will meet again in this forum in the next edition too, but I hope you all become a member of a particular society and involve yourself in various contributions in your work. The work may be a little, but your interaction with the members is very, very important. So be happy, be energetic and contribute. So always learning is not stop at any point. It's a lifelong learning. Then only you may know that we have learned a little bit. Whatever we know, don't think that I have learnt a lot. We have learnt very a handful things. It is lot more to go in a way. It's a very big ocean, but you have to cross little and you will reach your goal. Thank you all for the opportunity given, and good day and good year too. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Professor Vallaramati. And I'd also like to mention that ma'am's two sons are pilots, both of them. One. The eldest, who's the pilot, is a fighter pilot, and whose guide is Wing Commander Abhinandan sir. So what a pleasure. I mean, it takes a leader like you to groom the next generation, ma'am. Thank you so much for your presence. Thank you so much for your time. And with this, we would like to now call on stage Professor Varun and Professor Prakash to please come on up and present a token of our appreciation for none other than Professor Tapan K. Gandhi, all the way from IIT Delhi. Sir is INAE Fellow and Abdul Kalam National Technology Innovation Fellow. So what an honor to have you with us, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
I need somebody to take photo.
Professor Gandhi, thank you so much. Professor Varun and Professor Prakash, we request you to please take your seats. Professor Gandhi, what a pleasure, sir. You've come, sir has actually, crossed mountains in order to come here, all the way from Delhi by road. Sir, what an adventure it was. So we request you to please come on up and address the beautiful gathering who've come just to meet you, sir. Ji, stage is all yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikita, for this nice introduction. Good morning, everyone. So, first of all, I would like to say sorry to all of you because my voice is not clear today because of the climate here in IIT Mandi. So, always when it comes to this campus, I always have this kind of throat infection. I don't know why, because of that temperature difference and maybe some kind of humidity. Maybe, yes, good, yes. So, first of all, I would like to thank Professor Prakash, Professor Varun for inviting me to this conference. And of course, I am associated with this platform, this conference, ICCCNT, last few years. Even last year, we hosted at IIT Delhi. And of course, this is one of the largest conference in Asia. So I came to know that there are more than 5,500 papers accepted in this conference. Of course, this is a very big conference. And in India, I've never heard this kind of big conference in terms of the papers and the presentation. So coming to the conference title, so here in this ICCNT, of course, the three words, computing, communication, and networking. These are, of course, the three pillars of this modern society and also this digital world. So everywhere we are talking of the digital, and digital. So if you look at these three pillars, there are very interesting connection among these three pillars, right? So one is the computing. We know that this is actually out of these three things, computing, communication, and networking. Computing, the first one, has to contribute in a very big way because this is the first step. So computing means, you know, that the way, we do the computing, but what we do in the computer or in the supercomputer, whatever, we are doing this computing, but before that, so we need the data. So the first thing is that, do we have enough data to compute? Of course, yes, in some sense. Also, no, in some other sense, right? I'll come to that point. So, in the computing, first of all, we need to generate the data. Then, second is to store the data in the right format. Third is to process the data or the compute. Fourth is to find out the pattern or whatever we need out of this data. Okay? Then, after this, we come to the communication, right? Communication means to share among entity or among different devices or among the people or the world or the devices. This is called the communication, right? Then comes the networking, because for the communication, we need the networking. So in the networking, you know, nowadays we are talking about IoT. So earlier we have the embedded system, but then all of a sudden we came up with the word called the IoT. This is nothing but the improvement of the embedded system, where we are bringing all this embedded technology onto the top of the network, where they will communicate with itself, as well as they will communicate with the human. And that's why another terminology came up called the cyber physical system. And we always give the term, fancy term, called the human in the loop of cyber physical system. So if you look at these three components of this digital world, of course you will find that it's covering all aspects of the engineering. So when I'm talking about the computing, so as you know that nowadays the biggest trend in the engineering is the data science or the AI. So here the challenge is, do we have enough data? And are the data properly structured or properly labeled for our use? Of course, in many domains, we don't have this enough data, right? So if you look at all, let's say, healthcare or anything, right? So of course, nowadays when I'm talking about IoT, you know that earlier we are talking about that the social media is giving us the huge amount of data. But after this IoT, we feel that the IoT, the kind of data they are generating, say, tremendous amount of data. But the question is, how much data we need for our computation, or how much data we need for any kind of real world application to develop some kind of technology. So for that, we need good amount of data, just like in the medical application. Let's talk about the medical application, because when we talk about the health and engineering, of course, both the things are the two sides of a coin. But at the same time, health always take the priority, because if we are not healthy, then there is no meaning of the engineering, right? So that's why health takes the highest priority. And you know, during the COVID, and just before the COVID, and if you look at until now, in India, if you look at the number of startups has been created, you will find more than 60% only for the health, more than 60%. So you can imagine how, we are moving forward in the domain of health. But at the same time, people face the challenges in getting the data, because we don't have very good amount of historical data. So when we work in the medical domain, so let's say whether you are doing in the diagnosis, prediction, prognosis, any kind of things, whatever you're doing, you need the data. So that's why it's a very big thing to create the good amount of data. And you cannot generate the good amount of data or the really very interesting data in 1 year, 2 years. It takes 10 years, 20 years, maybe 30 years, 50 years, right? So the question here is, then what's the implication, or what this conference is contributing or will contribute? So one thing, even I was discussing with Professor Prakash, that actually what I believe, the meaning of the conference is to bring the people, those who are working in this domain, those who are expert, and the same time those who are the young researcher, to understand, to discuss. So actually this is mostly for the collaboration, for the discussion, for different ideas. But nowadays, actually, what I've seen in many of the conferences, that this is about people are coming to present their work, then they will leave, right? But this should not be the objective of the conference. So this is lacking nowadays. So even I was telling that, can we bring more people offline? And it should be more interactive kind of session. Then only you can discuss all this new kind of trend or new kind of things, and how we will help each other. Because research, I always believe, this is not a single man activity. This is a group activity, right? So I always remember one quote from Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He once told that technology, unlike science, is a group activity. And if the people will not come together and address a single problem, maybe that will lead to a big disaster. And I remember one logo he used to have. This is the fighter plane. All the fighter planes are flying together. This is just like a technology. If one of them will commit any mistake, then that will lead to a big disaster. So technology is like that only. So even I always believe that sometimes, actually, even I've seen that many people feel that, okay, we should not share our ideas to others, or we should not work with others. In that way, they will get my idea. This is not true, not at all true. But if you feel that you are intellectual, if you can generate idea, you can generate thousands of ideas. So idea, there is no limit of generating the idea. So that's why I believe it's always good to share your idea with everyone, to share, to discuss, right? Nobody can take away your idea, right? It will help you to think more and more, right? So please, actually this is, always you should do this. without having any fear, just talk to them, tell what you're doing, ask them what they are doing, right? And of course, in the research, because I believe that those who are in this room, we all are researchers, scientists, right? So don't care about the number of publications. Care about the ethics of research, that what you are doing, maybe you are doing a small, I mean, one work. I'm not talking about the 100 works you should do, but one work which you can tell, this is my work, I have done this, right? And where the ethics comes. So ethics is first. First respect the ethics of research and then do research. So I've seen in IIT also, in India, many top-notch researchers to whom we call them a top-notch researcher. But if you look at their work and everything, there are lots of plagiarism. Though we don't highlight these kind of things, but I call them that this is not the true research. So please, so at least if you have one paper, so be proud for that one paper instead of 100 papers, because you can tell this is my research, right? And in the same time, as I mentioned to you, that also in the next ICCCNT, I mean, when we'll have this in the Indore, actually, at least I hope that people should come more in the physical, I mean, attendance. Because I feel that, okay, maybe people talk about the Mandi, maybe the communication is little bit challenging, not difficult, but Indore is a very, I mean, well located, I mean, anybody can travel, so that, I mean, it would be, you will get a chance to have the physical interaction, right? And at the same time, so even I would like to request Professor Prakash, who is taking care of, I mean, last 15 years, he's conducting this kind of event. So if in India, actually in India also, we face many challenges in kind of data, because in many places when I visit many institutes, they ask, from where we'll get the data? It's of course very challenging for the people from the second tier, third tier institute, because let's say if IIT professor will go to talk to any, let's say doctor or anybody, they will say, oh, it's IIT, give them the data. But it's very difficult for the other people. Then the question is how they will do good research. Because now the big thing, what we are observing in all the IIT, now the quality of the education is going down, and we all are responsible for this. So how we can come all together, help each other, and also maybe through this conference, I mean, maybe is it possible to create this kind of, I mean, people can give the data. Like here in IIT Mandi, I can see there are very good lab. Even I was talking to all of my friends, Barun, Subhajit, Arnab. So actually, you all have very good facility. You can create a huge amount of data, right? But here also, if we, again, here also, see, in the science and engineering, we all don't know everything. Even I have also some limitation, somebody else has some limitation. So if we'll come together and without any ego, if we can discuss, debate, because the science and technology is based on debate. This is not about whatever I'll say, you have to accept. No, it's not like that. You question, if you don't understand or if you don't believe my way of doing the research, you question me that why you're doing like this. And in that way, we can create the right kind of ecosystem, and by which we can create the right kind of data. Because as I told you, in the computing, you need good amount of data and the right kind of data. Just like you know that many times we do research on the online data. But I always, personally, I feel that there are lots of challenges. Because online data, there are many, because you know that when you collect the data, there are many opponents. But when somebody load the data, upload the data in the internet, they don't tell all the lacuna when they collected the data. And in that way, when you are analyzing the data, you cannot give the justice to your data. So that's why it's very important. You have the facility, you generate the data, and you maybe put in some repository and help others in India or maybe other country to use your data and give all the complete information that in which condition you recorded the data. So that's why I mentioned to you that out of these three terms, computing, communication, networking, computing, the first step is very important. If we will not do good in the first step, then we cannot do good in the second two steps. And of course, I would not like to take much time, but again, I would like to reiterate. Last time when I delivered the talk in this conference, I talking about more about the industry 4.0, but as you know, that we are already into 5.0. So in industry 4.0, we are talking about the robot or the machine will do our job. But in industry 5.0, we are talking about human-machine collaboration. So this is how we came from the hunting society, hunting, the agriculture, to the human-computer interaction, right? And of course, in IIT Mandi, we have all this sophisticated lab in this domain, right? Not only this, in addition to this, they have the human value system. I mean, what the kind of research they do about the oldest tradition of India, this yoga, pranayama, And so this is a very good combination of the old as well as the modern kind of things. And again, I would like to tell all of you that please find out a good problem when you are doing the research. If you have a very good problem, then you have done your research. Automatically everything will follow you. And if you have really a good problem, even if you spend your whole life, still you won't be able to finish or answer all the questions in that area. Telling, I mean, one example I'm giving you. So out of all my research, we work on the blindness. So even I feel the work what I do, even I'll spend my whole life, still I cannot finish the questions which are there. So exactly what we are doing, we restore sight to the blind, those who are born blind, and then we try to understand how the brain is developing, and then the way the brain is developing, that means, let's say we are talking the vision, that how a human being learns to see, and can we mimic this principle in the machine? And last more than 17 or 18 years we are working in this domain, but as I told you, that if we'll spend our whole life on this problem, still we won't be able to finish just 1% of the questions, fundamental questions, what is there. So of course, I mean, when you do the good work, of course everything will follow. And so this the example I gave you. Why I gave you this example? Many times as a researcher, we do the research and we don't know how my research is going to help the society. But actually the work which I mentioned to you, we can see that all the things are together. Just forget about the papers. Just like as a researcher, you all are here to present your paper, to have a one paper. But I feel when a blind person can see, I feel this is my paper, this is my award, this is my everything, right? You need not to wait for others to judge you or to tell you, oh, you are a good researcher. Always the answer should come from here, whether you are a good scientist or researcher or not, right? So this is very, very important. And truly speaking, so the joy what I get from there, of course, I mean, when you do the work, of course, it will help the fundamental science, and it is also helping in the development of the next generation technology. But at the same time, personal satisfaction is a very big thing, right? The last sentence I would like to tell you, those who are the budding scientists, so if you feel that you are a true scientist, you just go to an open road, you ask yourself whether my research I have contributed enough to the society or not, whether my research has any impact or not. If you are getting the answer yes, then you should feel that I am the true scientist. Nobody need to judge or tell you that you are a good scientist or a good researcher. Thank you very much, and all the best to all of you. And of course, I mean, I would again thank to the organizing members from IIT Mandi campus, as well as from outside Mandi campus, for organizing this wonderful conference, bringing all this more than 5,000 participants. And I hope that next year it will be more interacting in nature. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Professor Gandhi. Professor Gandhi, what passion you have for science and technology. I mean, I'm sure the students and the scholars watching can feel it from the other side of this screen, the mobile screens. It is that contagious, it is that palpable. So you have inspired me. I have zero background in research and paper. Your passion has inspired me to start writing a paper from tomorrow morning itself. So fantastic, sir. Thank you so much. What a privilege to have you with us. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Gandhi mentioned a very important point, right? This conference that you are a part of, which is the 15th ICCCNT conference, is not just India's largest, but one of Asia's largest technical conferences. So can we have a big round of applause to such a great feat? Of course, nothing short than this can be expected from IEEE, which is the world's largest technical organization. So again, on behalf of IEEE, we thank each one of you for your contribution to mankind, to the society. And with this, we quickly move on to our next segment. We request Professor Arna Bhavsar to please come on up. Mr. Bhavsar, the audience awaits you. Thank you so much, Mr. Bhavsar. Stage is all yours. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Nikita. Yeah. So I think a lot of that I wanted to talk is already, covered by, Dr. Tapan. Yeah. So thanks for that. I think my time is automatically reduced because of that. But yeah. So first of all, a big congratulations to all the organizers, all the participants to make this a grand event. I mean, to my knowledge, I think this is probably the biggest event in IIT Mandi, history in terms of the number of papers that have been covered in a particular conference. And not only that, so see, I did not, I mean, of course, I'm one of the co-organizers, but my role was very minimal, except for signing some approvals here and there, and maybe, chairing a couple of sessions. But whatever little I attended, I wanted to, specifically highlight that, see, normally when we, so I work in AI, machine learning, some healthcare applications and so on. So normally when we visit a conference in the age where there is an onslaught of AI, right? So normally we see papers which are very focused on, say, certain algorithms, certain deep learning techniques and so on, right? But one very interesting thing that I found in this conference, in the few sessions that I, attended, is that, the diversity of papers that were presented, of course, in addition to the quality, right, was really sort of eye-catching, right? What I mean is that, see, we did not just have papers solely on, AI or, or on these niche, areas, but we had a whole spectrum, and we had papers actually on systems. So, so to add to what Tapan said, right? See, when you attend a conference, right? So, you come and you present your paper, right? But in the session, you listen to other papers also. And one art, especially the students, that they have to learn over the years in attending conferences, is sometimes you find connections between these papers, right? So sometimes you will feel that, okay, I am working on the hardware, but now, there is this algorithm which can be nicely interfaced with my hardware, and now we can make a overall system. And one nice thing about this conference is, this kind of conference actually give you an opportunity to do that, because I saw papers on hardware, I saw papers on, deep learning algorithms, I saw papers on systems, which connect different, parts of, modules and so on. So basically, the idea is not just to focus on your work and, sort of present it, right, as Tapan already said, but also to, be aware, be mindful of various other, things going around, and you will basically get connected, through these different works. You will be able to connect your work through these different works. And one important part of any conference, right? So I hope, you all will have already done that in this conference. But one important part of any conference happens outside the sessions, really, right? So how many of you read *Sapiens* by Yuval Noah Harari? Okay. So, an important point that he makes in *Sapiens* is our civilization has evolved, because of one very interesting thing called gossip, right? Because we, talk to each other, right? And sometimes those talks may make sense, may make partial sense and so on. So conferences, in my opinion, are technological gossips, basically, right? And this is where the sessions which are outside the paper presentation sessions, these are the actual sessions where you get to exchange ideas, you get to, it's more like free-flowing, sort of process of ideas and so on. So we are not presenting our work very formally and so on. We are not under any pressure. We just, discuss our ideas and so on. And this is basically gossip, right? So, it may not be, we don't bother about whether we are correct, whatever you're saying is accurate or not, right? So basically we generally naturally talk, and out of these we make contacts, we make networks, we make collaborations and so on. And this is something really, really important for any conference, and particularly in a conference like this, we get a lot of opportunity to do that because of the diverse theme of the conference, where we can actually connect our work with different levels of works from other authors and so on. So I hope you had this opportunity. You had this opportunity of actual networking, not just the technical networking, right? Which is basically the main idea behind the conference. And I hope you enjoyed that part of it, of course, in addition to enjoying our beautiful campus, right? So I hope you had a great time at IIT Mandi, both technically as well as spiritually. And with that, I thank you all. Yeah. congratulations again. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Professor Bhavsar, the chair of ICCCCNT Center at India's largest technical gossip show. This is the new nomenclature of, sir has nomenclated the show henceforth. So thank you so much. What a great insight. All right, so before we start with our next segment, do let me know. We would now like to have a one-on-one with the audience members. When is it that you're leaving? Anybody who plans to stay here for a vacation, where are you going? Give us some tips. A lot of us have come from places not from Himachal, so give us some tips. Where are you heading to? They just don't want to talk. But I will force you to. Okay, so ma'am, are you from Himachal? So give us some tips. So you are not planning to go anywhere, is it? But what is the most beautiful place in Himachal that you would recommend to us non-residents of Himachal? Oh, Parashar Lake.
So I will suggest you that, or I am new in Mandi, so I don't know many places.
Wow, that's a very easy way of getting out of this conversation.
You can come to Solan. My hometown.
Solan. Anybody who's been to Solan? Solan is one of India's largest FMCG industrial location, right? That's...
Solan.
Oh, yes, I'm well aware. Let me know when do we start with our next segment. Till then, tell us, okay, how many of you are from Mandi? Students here. How has life been? आप बताइए, we have time till the next segment. So there's a history to me. So I was born and brought up in Mumbai. My father served the Indian Navy, but my entire lineage is from Himachal. But sir, people like me, what happens is we come here 1 month, 15 days, nana nani ghar, 15 other days. So you have seen more of Himachal than I have, probably. So let me know, tell me which places do we have to travel to. Sir, Professor Gandhi is an ardent traveler. Sir, gaadi lekar pahunch jayenge, I am very sure. That is the passion. So tell us which places do we travel to, sir? Mr. Sahil. Acha.
Which you can visit. And there are lots of temples, tracks in Mandi district where you can,
Kuch young, for the young people.
There are lots of tracks. So we
trekking.
can track, Thunak Valley is near to Mandi. So you can track there.
Done. Yes, ma'am. Dr. Ritu, any input?
There are many adventurous sports that you can do at Solang, so that's a good place to visit.
Wow. Okay, so when are you heading back? Audience members, when are you leaving? Which places are you going back to? Let us know. We're just doing a very quick survey of the diversity in our audience. Ma'am, where are you from? Yes.
I'm
Ma'am,
from
with
here
a stunning
only.
sari.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Actually, I'm here as I'm working for a NGO that is connected with IIT Mandi. So I'm from here in that sense for the past 11 years.
Wow.
And my colleague, she just stepped out. She's from here too.
She ran away. She's like, I am not taking the mic next.
So.
Ma'am, where are you originally from though?
Kerala. So you want me to tell you about Kerala or?
I korchu Malayalam padichu.
Very good job.
Mansilayo. I will understand what you're saying.
Right, but I know more about Himachal now. So like they said in Mandi, there's Parashar is a must visit place. And the temples here that he mentioned, it's not just for a spiritual feel. I think the youngsters can also trek till there because it's always somewhere out in the heights and see the architecture, and the views are usually the best from those views. So I think, you should not discount temples as a visit.
As a Keralite, I mean, this is like a colder Kerala for you, right? Isn't it?
No,
very similar
There's
culturally, temples, the sort of culture, the sort of temples that you have here.
Actually, very different because of the terrain. You know,
Yeah, of course.
the conductivity of information in Kerala is way more than. So being in this NGO, we've really got to see the difficulties of how the schemes can be sustainable or scaled up here, right? That's not such an issue in Kerala. So, so many differences.
Of course, and a lot of similarities and a lot of differences.
Yes,
So
yes.
from God's own land to Dev Bhumi,
Dev Bhumi.
what a transition! My God, fantastic, ma'am. Anybody else? We're just taking a very quick feedback. Let us know. Malika, right there. Malika, let us know. This is You have to look into the camera. Yes, Malika, how has your experience been? What are your inputs?
As you know, I have just shifted, like it's not been 1 year that I have shifted from Delhi.
Ah.
So you can imagine the amount of like mental peace I'm experiencing here. Like IIT Mandi itself is a tourist attraction because
Yeah.
I walk here every day. I enjoy so much. Like, but unfortunately, I haven't been to like nearby places like Parashar. Hopefully, I will visit soon. I was busy with my research, so yeah, it's really nice because although I'm from Delhi, but I think now I can say that now I'm Himachalis.
Absolutely. And this one is for Uncle Ji. By the way, let me tell you, if there is one patron of this show, it has to be Malika's Pitashri, who served CBI, is now retired, and has been watching this show from start to end
Yeah, he's watching right now.
Right now. So, Uncle Ji, this is for you. Thank you so much. And that's your daughter. Thank you, sir. Thanks, Malika. Let me know, when do we start with the next segment? We can start? Okay, great. All right, so now we call upon our next speaker is Professor Subhajit Roy Chaudhary. He's the chairman of Human Computer Interaction Center. Professor Roy, what a privilege. Thank you so much for your time. And yeah, stage is all yours. Thank you, sir.
Very good morning to one and all, and I hope you had a very nice stay at IIT Mandi, and this is basically a perfect time to visit IIT Mandi. Of course, this year we had a summer that is much more intense than what we usually have, but the intense part of the summer is now gone, and again we have started enjoying the cool, breezy weather of the Himachal, and perhaps it's a perfect time to visit Mandi when you neither have the fear of the rain and the landslides, nor you have the intense winter as well. So usually monsoon and winter are the two feared parts of the year. I mean, winter is not really very fearful, but unless you have the appropriate governments, it's very difficult to battle. Whereas monsoon is really a fearful time where landslides are quite frequent in Himachal, and it's really a terrible experience for people who are not staying in Himachal. First of all, my heartiest thanks to my friend and colleague Varun for putting up such a wonderful conference where we had such a wonderful participation of people coming from different parts of the globe, including people coming from USA all the way to here. My old collaborator, Professor Kamesh Namuduri, is also here. I was just talking to him that we had collaborative discussions even 12 years back when I was not at IIT Mandi, I was at IIIT Hyderabad. So one of our colleague, Professor Anubha Gupta, who is now at IIIT Delhi, and I collaborated with Professor Namuduri over some project of Meiti. And that was actually a wonderful experience. We were recollecting that yesterday, and I hope to carry forward those discussions again. As Professor Bhavsar rightly said, that this conference is not just the forum to present papers, but to also establish connections, and I hope most of the young researchers, the PhD students or maybe the postdocs who are here, may be using this opportunity perfectly to network with their fellow friends in other institutes, as well as stalwarts who have come all the way from different institutes to present their work or share their short thoughts and ideas. And actually you should make use of this opportunity. And those who have not made use of this opportunity, there's one last chance after this valedictory session to network with some of the stalwarts as well as the fellow friends, which will really lead to a lot of productive things down the line. One thing which I actually felt while I was chairing 2 sessions over yesterday and today is many of us may be presenting excellent works, excellent ideas through our papers, but many times I found that the data sets with which people worked are data sets of some universities or some institutes which are far away. I understand that we do not have very great repositories in India, but we have a moral, social responsibility or even technological responsibility to build up our own repository for our country. One thing we should keep in mind is that science can be for the whole world, science can be for the universe, whereas technology must be for the local needs. So we must develop technologies that caters to our local needs. If you see the villages around us, I mean around IIT Mandi, they are perhaps once upon a time the remotest villages you can think of. I mean, when I was in fact, I feel very proud to say that I am the first faculty resident of the North Campus at IIT Mandi. And when I got into the campus way back on 21st October 2016 in C35S1 residence, where I stayed till 2022. The neighbor was our first director, Professor Timothy Consalves, and then my second neighbor was my colleague from the physics department, Professor Chandrasekhar Yadav. So 3 of us stayed in 3 different buildings, and by the way, jackals and foxen used to be our peaceful neighbors. So in the evening, we used to spend time watching pack of foxes passing by our buildings. So that is the kind of situation we lived with, but without, of course, we got used to it over time. If I see on the other side of the hill, there used to be just 2 lights dimming in the evening for coming out of 2 houses. If I talk of the kind of things available at that time over here, even for a packet of bread, I had to travel all the way to Mandi to get a packet of bread. So that was the situation we used to live with. And now if you see, in 8 years' time, most of the shops on the other side of the river in Salgi village, they have Google Pay, Paytm and all those technological features for making payments. Whereas when I travel to my hometown in Calcutta, if I buy fruits and vegetables and I tell that can I do a GPay, they start shouting at me, you are coming here for fruits and vegetables and you are going for GPay. GPay nahi hoga. That's a very smart reply which the fruit sellers and vegetable sellers give it to me. So that's the beauty of raising an institute in a remote village. It transforms the culture of the village and transforms it into a technology-aided village over time. Perhaps the village of Shalgi, Nandli and Kamand are good examples of that. And I see my colleague Sandhya and Urmila, right? They are basically working hard to elevate the standard of living of the women in the Kamand Valley through their EVOKE project, and that's actually a very good example of how the villages around the IIT Mandi has got transformed over time. So that's actually the where the technology comes to fruition of changing the face of the society over time, and we should really aim at doing that. So when we really work with in developing technologies, we should think that how we can use the technology for uplifting the standards of our people belonging to our own nation, and use our own nation as a case study and use it for furthering the standard of living of our people. with those words in mind, I wish you all the best, and I hope you will also have memories cherished during your stay at IIT Mandi, and all the best for 16th version of ICCCNT. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Professor Chaudhary. C35S1. Wow. The fact that you remember that is insane. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you see Professor Chaudhary interacting with a couple of foxes, don't be surprised the foxes know him. It's a long time friendship. Thank you so much, Mr. Chaudhary. Where exactly have you come in from now? Oh. Oh, wow. My God. Okay. Sir, you've got very interesting stories from the past. I hear that. We'll connect. Probably not now. Probably not now, but we'll definitely connect for some very interesting stories. Thank you so much, Professor Chaudhary. What a pleasure to have you. We now request Professor Aditya Nigam, the Chair of School of Computing and Electrical Engineering, of course, an awardee of one of the best teacher, right? So, Professor Nigam, on to you to dispel your magic to everybody, to all your students. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, so thank you very much, and Professor Gandhi is also here, so I would like to have a warm welcome Professor Gandhi as well, and all of other guests who are here. In fact, all the things we already have said, and as we all know that depletion of crowd is definitely going to happen because this is the last day, and we also feel that they should have to go. You are in Himachal, so Himachal is flooded with tourists. I mean, if you go anywhere, Manali and all, you will get all the cars, and everyone is trying to come inside Himachal before the monsoon starts. And if you guys are attending the conference, you definitely probably have a right to go here and there few places. But as that's already being said, that these conferences need to be seen as the venue where we go and discuss our ideas. That's the most important thing. In fact, last at least 15 years to which I was associated with all these conferences, we started to attend. This technical gossip is the thing which is really, I mean, we several times have, and from there we started to have collaborations. And several times the idea that started from a gossip finally ended up at least with a paper, several times ended with a project and a patent. These are the things up to which we used to think. After that it becomes a business idea and being acquired by some company. Usually in academia, at least I don't go up to that, TRL 3, 4, 5, up to the things we used to work on. But yes, gossip is the thing that you are looking for. What I understand is that having a 5,000 plus audience, even if we are going to have it in Indore, similar things are going to happen, but just think that if 5,000 guys come, it becomes a very big issue how to manage all that stuff. So I think that guys who are students and all the researchers, they also started to adapt to a new culture of online management of a conference, which is sophisticated, easy to be managed. But on the other hand, what we started to understand is that how to utilize online meeting venues for networking, because we are not good right now onto that. We are good to have a one-to-one discussion. We are good when we see person and we started to talk, we have a tea and so on. But most of the time, not what we see is that most of these big conferences, especially of this level, I mean, if there are 5,000 students, 5,000 persons, you can't interact. So how 75 parallel sessions, if they are going on 43 countries, you need to understand how can we utilize online platforms so as to have online gossip, online discussion, or technical gossips if we can have. So this is what I understood, that everyone was thinking that how can we have a fruitful discussion. Probably in the upcoming time, sooner or later, there are certain apps and these online platforms onto which we can have online discussions. So if we can start to use that properly, probably at some point of time we will get ourselves equipped and being able to utilize this platform well. With this, probably I assume that it's a wonderful session, big conference, several, at least I know one person who is coming from all the way US. He was my friend. And all the way US, he just came to present his work. Although he's from India, so as we all know that everyone from US, whenever you come, there is one motive of meeting your family as well. But this guy met me after at least 12 years or 10 years when I was at IIT Kanpur. He was my friend, and then he came all the way to US. So that was the thing, that those students or the persons who are not here, they are because of their selection, because they don't want to travel. But if those who are really interested to travel, they somehow try to come here at this part. So let us assume that in Indore, we are going to have more participation, and if it's becoming more and more, Prakash need to manage a bigger crowd, and then it becomes, even if 1,000 persons came, even 500 persons came, it becomes a big event that somehow need to be managed properly. But yes, those are the challenges, but with these big conferences, we understood how to at least manage them in a best possible online way. So let us hope and try to meet in the upcoming Indore session. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Professor Nigam. Sir, I could not agree more. If 5,000 students, everybody who's watching was to appear in front of us, let me tell you, Professor Behra, Professor Dutt, Dr. Prakash and Professor Nigam will be getting a call directly from the Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh that what are you doing here? That will be crazy. But again, thank you to the students for taking out time. Professor Nigam, if there is anybody, right, who's been a part of 14th ICCCNT as well as 15th, that would be you. So we just wanted your insights on what change did you see in this 1 year? From 14th to 15th, what upgradation, what change, any inputs on that?
It's the biggest change that I have seen. Maybe I attended it in, Prakash and we were discussing it's during, I guess, 2022 when it was online, I guess. 19 or 2022. Virtual, that's the Kharagpur, that's 2020, right? The 2020 or 21, it was online mode, and from that, I've seen a big change that at that point of time, everyone was just like that, present my work and I'm done. I can tell you, at that point of time, those students who were presenting at 2021, they just wanted to present and then they are done. It's a big mess throughout the world, and everyone wanted to publish because you are a student and will have to get your things done. You just present and you are done, and thumbs up for your one conference paper, need not to travel and all. After that, at Delhi, I have seen that huge amount of management students started to come. And that was, a big deal. At some point of time, we as a faculty member started to think that how we are going to face a crowd again. It was a big issue. It's just not only for Sachin Tendulkar that he used to go in front of the crowd and play the things. You just imagine this whole class being filled by 350 students. You even don't know where we have to see. Should I see here or here or here, even if it's 350. So students started to come in the classes as well as in these conferences, and this whole system started to be rebuilt again. So that's the courage of initial courage that's being required to go inside the class of 350. Believe me, at that point of time, even going to Delhi was a big thing for us. Why you want to go and visit Delhi? You are here, you are safe. Why you wanted to visit? So that's the biggest thing that again it started. But as it's being said that at Delhi, I have seen a huge amount of students participation. Here also see a huge amount of participation, maybe in online and offline mode. The thing which is happening is that students started to recognize ICQNT or ICCCNT or ICCCNT or whatever in a different way. And as I have said, because at Delhi I was not aware that who are those guys who are coming. Here, when I met someone coming all the way from US just only to present a single paper, this is something that was something very new, and I started to see this conference also in a very different way. Coming from US directly only to present a work, forget about Prakash and other, they are the, you know, they have to be here and they have to do the all work. The single person along with his family coming here, that is something is being changed. That's a huge impact if I understood.
Thank you so much, Professor Nigam. We couldn't agree more. All of you have become stars now in your own right. You speak of Sachin Tendulkar and that is what you've become. So thank you, Professor Nigam. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and journey with us. Yes. Great. We now, we present to you Professor Habibi, all the way from Tennessee State University, US. Professor Habibi, thank you so much for being a part. And Professor Nigam said, we've got leadership from US coming, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, again, we have an astute leader all the way from US to IIT Mandi. Sir, stage is all yours. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for calling me. I was not prepared for this, so if I sound incoherent, please excuse me. So, first of all, it has been a wonderful experience coming to Mandi. I was really excited to come here, but on my way, my excitement started growing more and more. Going up and down the hills, looking at the scenery, looking at the beautiful place, and of course the campus is excellent. I saw the South Campus first and I was blown. And then I saw the North Campus, I said, no, it's more than the South Campus. So the scenery is great. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be here. Talking about, if I have to say something to you, I will address first the students. Students, you are the driver for the new generation. We are phasing out. We can only extend our hand for you to grab it, but then you are the future leaders. So my suggestion to you is that don't hesitate to roll up your sleeves. Try to turn your ideas, as Dr. Gandhi said, turn your ideas into something tangible. Don't hesitate to turn your ideas into working applications, because that's when you will get your own ripe data. Instead of getting data from somewhere else, get it from your own data. So for getting that, you should be doing things yourself, if you get an opportunity. Don't hesitate to go to the labs. Your lab should be the place next to your bedroom. So go to sleep, but when you get up, don't skip classes, go to the labs. Labs is a fertile ground for you to work up your mind. And then you will find that you are going in the right direction. So that's all I have to say, and I think you have enough for others to say, but thank you so much. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Professor Habibi. Professor, where is Professor? Yes. Professor, you mentioned in our conversation, we were just conversing right before the show, the last time sir was here at Himachal was in the year 1996. Right. So I have a CCTV vision and memory, so be very careful of what you say, because I will remember it and repeat it. So what is the difference that you've seen, right, 1996 to 2024 that is happening? What difference do you see in Himachal?
Well, I'll just say this, I forgot to mention this, is that, in 96, I thought that I had seen all. In 2024, I found out that I was an ignorant person. So, I forgot to mention this to everyone, is that same thing happens in research. is that if you want to do something, the first thing you should do is try to go through all the literature. Read, 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 read. Don't be tired of reading, because the more you read, the more you will become aware. The more you are not ignorant, the better you will be someone who can contribute. And also, you know, Dr. Gandhi, I really appreciate what he said, is that don't let ego come between you and the next person, because then you can get together well. Yeah. So I was ignorant, now I'm not. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Bibi. Your modesty and humility shines through, sir. Thank you for your time and your presence. We now request Professor Kamesh Namudri. Professor Kamesh, this is the parting note from your end, and yeah, stage is all yours. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Good morning, all. First of all, thanks for hosting us. We thoroughly enjoyed, especially meeting with the students, other than the climate and the hillside of the Mandi. We thoroughly enjoyed the students who are doing great research, and I was telling the people who are sitting in front that don't underestimate your capabilities and the work that you are doing. It is on par or even beyond or comparable to any other university in the world. That's my first take. And one thing Dr. Tapan was saying, try to share your ideas. Don't think that you have to protect. If you're really worried, there are many opportunities, like you can always patent. Just to mention, today, one patent is being filed for my work. It's on digital traffic lights in the sky, in the airspace. And I just thought about this and wrote a preliminary concept, but then it's the students who build the proof of concept. In 1 year, there are undergrad students. I put them on the patent, and I was about to write to them how we successfully filed the patent. The second thing I heard is, don't let ego be showstopper. Be humble, and then this works for everyone. All of us. Sometimes we think for some reason we think we're doing some great work, but at the end of the day, when you reach out to the community, talk to other people, you see that your work may as great as it appears, but still there is a lot more to do, and you should always be in the learning mode. And now coming to the main message that I was supposed to give is about the conference itself. I can see the significant growth from first conference that held in Coimbatore, and then I had a chance to attend conference in Delhi and conference in my own university, UNT Denton, and then finally this conference is not only in numbers but in terms of quality. I enjoyed thoroughly those few sessions, and the ideas coming from each paper, each student were significant. And then if you build on those ideas, big things can happen. For example, one day Dr. when Daniels was talking about the policy, sustenance, and economics and ecology, this kind of ideas, and then he was concerned that he was expressing students should be engaged in those things too, policy and governance. And then I saw a paper yesterday. There was a paper where some students were presenting. So I could see how the conference actually grew in many aspects. For example, there were panels that were held, couple of panels on the spot, but they were so informative. I was involved in one panel, but there was a panel organized by or chaired by Major Madan and Daniel. So these were great ideas. So Prakash, I commend Prakash for coming up with this this idea of first of all starting in a conference and then growing up to this level. He has the knack of identifying people, coming up with ideas, and for example, in this conference, it is amazing how the students are able to organize this. Without students and without, of course, the leaders, Dr. Varun, Dr. Aditya, Nigam, so without them, it's not possible. But the students took it to the next stage. I just want to give a comparison. Just in May, I was co-chair for a IEEE first conference on public safety technologies. It was held in just last month. It was only 100 papers. And because it was the very first one, we were about 100 papers. There were a lot of problems that we had faced. Like on the first day, I could not attend a single keynote because I was being asked, what is the code for to enter the virtual room? So all these questions, because of all these questions, I had to sit in the front in the room, in front of the conference hall and answer all these questions. So it is not easy. Just 100 papers, and some of them are virtual, but still it is too difficult. And it's the way the conference was conducted here is simply amazing. Everything went so smoothly. Others have to come and give a presentation. There are session chairs and volunteers handling all these things. So it went so smoothly. I have never seen any complaint. But having said that, I would like all of you, all of us, all the people who attended the conference, to give your input to Prakash or any one of the organizers so that we can improve. When the numbers grow from 500 to 5,000, the complexity grows. So as much as the coordination and all these things happen this semester, this conference, going further, next conference should be equally good or even better. So for that to happen, we need your input. So please share your inputs, see what worked well, what did not work well, so that Prakash can take that input and make things better. And again, he has the ability, he has the vision, but we need the supporting structure for that. And again, I believe Prakash is thinking about exhibitions next year. So that itself is a great idea, because all these papers that we're talking about, all these ideas, if you see them in live demonstrations, that will add more value. And for example, there was one of the professor and a student from Roorkee, IIT Roorkee. They were presenting some concept, and then they brought the device with them. So I suggested that put it in the corridor so that people can see. So even for you, for example, if you have a paper, don't stop at the PowerPoint presentation. Come up with have your data, have your code, put it on the GitHub, share the data. In fact, IEEE has something called data port. If you have a chance, take a look at that. You can collect the data, you can see the data that you want, but if you come up with your own data, put it there. And you will again, the value that that for your research will grow significantly, exponentially, if you put your data on the website and share with others. And don't worry about the IP protection and all that. Put your code as well. Somebody will add more value. Somebody will add another segment, and then you will be the beneficiary. Okay. So with that, I would like to conclude. But again, thank you for hosting us and this lovely atmosphere, lovely place, lovely people, and then the way you have conducted, you have helped us. It is very, 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 very great. Okay, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Professor Kamesh. Professor Prakash and Professor Dutt, I would like to mention that you have made to reality Professor Kamesh's dream. Sir's dream was to celebrate his 60th birthday in the foot of Himalayas. And what a crazy coincidence. That day before yesterday was Professor Kamesh's birthday. So can we firstly wish Professor Kamesh a very happy birthday? Sir, your dream, what a coincidence, sir. Crazy.
61.
Oh, 61. Sir, you don't look anywhere that your age should start from 6. But okay, 61st birthday. Fantastic, sir. What a pleasure. By the way, my birthday, sir's birthday is day before yesterday. Mine is day after tomorrow. So we have a difference of 4 days and a few years. Great, sir. Professor Kamesh, what a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much, sir, traveling all the way from the US just to be a part of this show. Again, what a pleasure to meet you. Thank you. Thank you, Professor Kamesh. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, now is the moment we've all been waiting for. It is an announcement to take in students, IEEE student membership. For that, we request Professor Prakash to kindly come on up. Professor Prakash, do let us know about this setup, what exactly is happening. So what we're trying to do is this is absolutely free. no paid IEEE membership to a certain few students, right? Fantastic. So let's give it up for Professor Prakash. Please come on up. And a very few hand-picked students from IIT Mandi will have an absolute scholarship-based entry to IEEE. Again, Professor Prakash, is there anything you'd want to mention before we start?
Yes, this conference was amazing. I'm very thankful to Dr. Warren, and thanks for Kamesh for visiting. Thanks to Tapan and Aditya and other folks. So, as Kamesh said, we are extremely astonished by the students who have done this work, and I'm very, very grateful to you. This conference success will not be without your efforts. So Kamesh always saying that, even I was not that much careful, Kamesh always saying that students are everywhere working, every moment they are working. So I was very happy to hear. And so, see, like Kamesh and I and Varun, we have come across a lot of IEEE exposures. And we want to seed this initiative to the next leaders. So we want to promote this opportunity to the future leaders, and we want to do this as an IEEE promotional event. So if you become a member, then, so this event may be like a seed for you. So in the future, you can able to take this event to the next level, because you have to, so slowly we may be outdated. So you will be the next one to take this event to the next level. So I hope this promotional event will be a seed for you, and you can able to sustain the cutting edge technologies to the upcoming generations. And also, okay, let's talk about that. So I'm really honored to this event. I believe like 6 to 7 students from this campus, then a couple of them from IIT Delhi, then a couple of them from Kongu, and like 2 or 3 from Oriental universities. And if anyone interested, I can also, ICCCNT can sponsor UNT students too, if anyone is there. So around like 10 to 15 students will be sponsored for IEEE membership. And if anyone wants to become IEEE senior member, our group can also help us. I believe 8 people become senior member this year on behalf of the conference. And every year we promote 10 to 15 new IEEE student members. And also we, apart from student member, we also support to any one of the societies, like packaging society or professional communication or industry application societies. Thanks for your support, and do you want to announce the names of the students?
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a big round of applause for Professor Prakash for this great IP and this great conference that you have given a shape of reality to. Starting off with, we start off with Sahil Sankyan, the very first member who will, from IIT Mandi, who will be taken into the IEEE family. Sahil, please come on up. Ladies and gentlemen, as and when I take your names, request you to kindly come on up. Request Yashwant Kumar. Do we have Yashwant Kumar? Many congratulations, Yashwant ji. Malika Nagpal. Malika, please come on up. There is Gitanshu. Gitanshu, many congratulations. Please come on up. Shashank, Uttrani, and Aarti. So these are the students that IEEE welcomes with arms wide open. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for these absolutely genius minds. Professor Prakash, so these are your new IEEE members, family members.
Thank you so much for joining, and I hope you will enjoy all the IEEE benefits. And if you have questions, Warren or Tommy,
Absolutely. We request Malika, Gitanshu, and Aarti. So do let us know, how are you feeling? What is your experience like? Starting off with Malika.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Malika Nagpal, and currently I'm pursuing my PhD from Ikshima Center under the guidance of Professor Varun Dutt. And I just want to thank the IEEE EPS, that is Electronics Packaging Society, for giving me this opportunity. I will utilize this opportunity to the fullest, hopefully. And I just look forward to contributing to the IEEE community and collaborating with my fellow members to drive like innovation and progress in technology. Thank you.
Sure, Malika, we look forward to the same. Thank you so much. Requesting Gitanshu to share a few words.
Thank you. So just to reiterate what my colleague said, first of all, on behalf of all my other colleagues, I can say we extend our thanks to you, Prakash sir, and everyone else for giving us this opportunity. It will help us a lot in our academic pursuits, and we'll make the most of it, is what I can assure you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Gitanshu. Big round of applause. And ending with Aarti. Aarti, what is it that you have to say?
So first of all, we are thankful to ICCCNT organizing committee and IEEE and EPS for providing us with this opportunity and for supporting our membership. And second, we are eager to learn and to contribute to IEEE community. Thank you.
My God, it's been like 10 seconds since you've joined IEEE, and like we can see the passion that you have to make such a huge change. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Many congratulations to all of you. Aarti, are you also from? Yes, I'm from IIT. Oh, wow. Wow, wow. Fantastic. Thank you. I've seen all these faces. They've been organizing this session for the past 5 days. So, yeah, that effort shows. Thank you. Now we will start with... Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, students. Request you to please take your seats. And now we have, this is absolutely fantastic. What we will do is, we request the following leaders to please come on up from Team DORA, that is Dean of Resources and Alumni Relations. We request Mr. Anuj Dubey, Mr. Anup Kumar, Mr. Mayank Sharma, and Professor Varun Dutt to please come on up. And of course, from Enabling Women of Command Valley, that is EWOC, we request Mrs. Sandhya Menon, Executive Director, Operations EWOC, all the way from Kerala, but has been in Himachal for the past 11 years. So, lovely audience members, what we are doing now is IEEE, being the generous leader that it is, will be giving a sponsorship, as you can see, to Team EWOC and Team DORA for their commendable work ahead. And yes, women. It is all about women because, yeah, women are the super womens of Command Valley. Ma'am, anything you'd like to add? So, Ms. Menon, what would you say about this donation that IEEE has made for the women welfare particularly, right? So,
first of all, it's come as a truly pleasant surprise. Thank you so much. So Urmila, my colleague, and I, and we have one more person, 3 people on the ground who's been working for it. So we are so busy with the operational part that this kind of a recognition and such a big platform is truly motivational. And coupled with sponsorship is just a cherry on the top. It has given such a, as of this moment, I had no idea actually. We had been invited to say that, you know, we've been doing this work, so they'd like to felicitate. So we were just happy to be here. And so as of this moment, it's given some booster energy, you know, for us to continue with the work, because we are struggling always with ensuring that we reach out to the people. And then there's always funding issues, you know, especially after COVID. A lot of these grassroots things have taken a hit because, you know, so thank you so much. And one message I always say whenever we are coming to any conferences is that, see, I'm an engineer too, actually, by training. And I can see so many problems that we should solve. But then I see that there are so many engineers, and like Professor Shubhajit said, technology for the locals is so important. And I'm like, while some of us are working on the grassroots, we'd like the solutions to come to us and we can take it, to the society. Because it should not get lost in your research centers. Excellent work happening. I'm part of the campus, so I always attend to know what is happening. So I think please keep up your good work and try to reach out more through NGOs like us so that it can actually reach the society where your work will be, I think, stronger than any paper that you'll publish. And that paper will probably have way more weight. So thank you so much, and we are truly motivated. So thank you to the society for doing this for our society.
Thank you, Ms. Menon, and the entire team of EWOC. I mean, what great work you are doing for the society and for women welfare. Absolutely commendable. Thank you so much. And please, I mean, it's a very hard to miss check. You may find it a little difficult to deposit in your bank account, but yeah, thank you so much. We'll make it work. Absolutely. Thank you so much. We now request Mr. Anuj. Mr. Anuj, the audience awaits to hear from you. Yeah.
First of all, I will congratulate all the participants and the organizing committee. And on behalf of the DORA team, Dean's Office of Resource Generation and Alumni Relations, Institute and the EWOC Society, I thanks to the ICCCNT Foundation for their kind gesture. Please come forward to join hands together in future as well to help the society neighboring to IIT Mandi. Thank you once again to all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Anuj. Thank you so much for your presence, sir. Requesting Professor Prakash to please come on up and educate us and walk us through the history of ICCCNT. It has taken its 15th version, 15th year. So yeah, Professor Prakash, over to you.
Thanks, Nikita. So I'm just trying to see this as a concept of like a data science. So I like to answer a few of the questions where Tapan raised before. I'm very I'm very responsible to answer why it happened. So initially we started like any other conference. So every conference we learned something. So first 4 conferences was held in Tamil Nadu, so you can see the numbers. So there are more practical difficulties. So there is a different expectations in US and here. So in India, most of them, they publish a paper to graduate and they don't have any proper funding or something like that. Either they have to spend their own money. So here the situation for every student is different. Either they have to be self-supported. And the organizers, they have to self-generate. They mainly depend upon the registration fees. So this is what happened for the first 4. So just for trial and error, we want to try other countries. So we moved to China. Then 2 times we did in US. So you can see how the numbers dropped. So we tried to, in experimental basis, we tried. Then I thought, okay, let's come back to India, make this conference steady. So I started with Delhi. So Joshi was the seed to make this conference success to the next level. The second phase of the conference was really, he was the father of the second phase of the conference. So hands off, my tribute to him. So it's my tribute to Joshi actually. So you can see the 8th one, it slowly improved. Then I try to keep it in the reputed institutions to get the good quality of the paper so I can get the papers uniformly distributed from different parts of the country. Then at that time, online was not so popular, so I want to increase the number by hybrid mode, so I slowly incorporated the hybrid mode. And the number of participants was like 200 something and 50 was then. Then the COVID came during the 11th, so you can see the 10th one was a good number of 410, was an equivalent of hybrid and on-site. It is in IIT Kanpur. Then the COVID came, then we started improving our marketing team. So we got around like 800 or 1,000 papers. Then for 11th and 12th, then the 13th one was completely online, so it was 288. So all this, we get more papers from the abroad. So now, then I changed the strategy in a different way. So in the US, the conference was divided into two. The conference, most of the IEEE conference was done by academicians. So they only look for the results, they just put PPT and then they leave. So most of the IEEE was like this. If you take a SPIE, it's an industry conference, they take an abstract, but the conference, they like to engage all the 5 days in terms of exhibitions, webinars, trainings, tutorials, everything. So the industry people want to carry some kind of a real-time knowledge when they leave the conference. It is just not the matter of he finished his work. So I really want that kind of environment here, actually. So every conference I want to fix one problem. I cannot fix all the problems. So at first let me get numbers in volume so we can able to compete or something like a globally. So I think last time we got a good number, maybe one of the largest in India, so now we move to Asia, something like that. So now we want to increase the number of on-site participants, and we are trying to bring or plan several strategies to increase the number of on-site participants. Example, we like to bring at least 200 companies, 100 to 200, so all the on-site participants get engaged. So for every tracks, at least we are bringing like 2 to 3 companies. So if you put any paper, then regarding that paper, at least 1 or 2 companies should be there. So the company guys can see what is new in their area, so they can find a potential guys for their companies, or these guys can able to see what they can learn from the industry standards. So this will be my futuristic goal. So where I'm coming up with how I can able to at least close enough to distribute the on-site and online participants. So and also there are a lot of connectivity issues and other things. So I hope in the future we like to introduce like a hackathon and a more programming contest. We plan to have announce best prices, papers between 5 lakhs and 10 lakhs, so which motivates more on-site participants. And so we having a foundation, we are building a website. So we are also coming up with a new promotional event. In a promotional event, we will talk to experts and we will give a lot of new problems. So many people are running out of ideas, and for example, in the US, they come up with new problems. Maybe how that problem can be solved to the context of Indian culture. So instead of just improving the accuracy level, we can give new problems so the next generation's talents can be explored, and new startups can be flourish. So a lot of new things can be happen. So I hope Varun, Tapan will join in the discussions to increase the number of on-site participants so we can help the next generations in a better way. And so we also like to incorporate new data sets and make publicly available, so they don't need to search for here and there. So that's also in one of our to-do list. So I hope this data will give you more insights from the participants levels. Example, in US, they have only fixed registration fees, but we want to give opportunities to all the countries. So like Sri Lanka's, we only charge like $30, and some countries like $70. So we are only keeping the registration fee what is affordable to them. So even we don't get anything sometimes, but that's okay as long as we get some good papers from all the globally, then that's fine. So from when you're trying to do a conference in India, and if you want to compete globally, you have to come across several hurdles. So every time we come up with a lot of challenges, somehow we are managing. But now the next challenge is how to make it more interactive, and how to slowly make this a global conference will be the next 5-year plan. And I also come up with some technique called Twin City program. So maybe first 4 days we like to do it in MIT or Shanghai, and next 4 days will be in any one of the IITs. So in that way we can able to attract the global audience. So we are able to have 75 tracks, So we almost got paper for all the tracks. I think most of them we got for machine learning and deep learning. So next time we like to bring the companies for all these tracks, so then both get mutually benefited. So this is how the SPI conference usually will be conducted in the US. So I'm trying to bring this kind of an environment, which may be a better version. So maybe next time when we plan for Mandi, one of my desire was I try to bring more companies. So, and I want to show at least 200 to 300 on-site participants. That will be one of my goal for the Mandi next time. And you can able to see these are the 44 countries which they participated. So surprisingly, we got 55 papers from the US. So slowly we are improving, like 59 papers. And so we almost covered all part of the globe. Okay. So now I think these participants are able to participate, and because it's a hybrid model. But at least now next time we have to have some kind of an essence to attract the on-site audience. If it's only PowerPoint presentation, then we can only attract the local audience. So we are working on that, how to attract more on-site. I think Dr. Murugesan can give some insight about that, and Dr. Tapan can give few words about how this Twin City program can bring a better vision apart from a single city. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Prakash. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been working alongside with Dr. Prakash for about 2.5 years now, and I should tell you that this gentleman that you see right here is an absolute visionary and absolutely futuristic. This conversation, all the preparations, the discussion got done last year itself. So just when the show was about to begin, we are actually organizing the next show, the 16th ICCCNT. So that conversation is happening. So everything that was to happen at this conference was already done and dusted by Dr. Prakash last year. So thank you so much. A big round of applause for him. Sir, you showed a lot of numbers. You're a hardcore data-based leader. You don't get into words. It's just numbers. I have a few numbers to share as well. So the first ICCCNT paper versus if you were to look at this year's, right? So 121 to 2550, that is a multiplier effect of 21.07. So from the first conference to the 15th, you've had a multiplier effect of 21.07. All thanks to all of you. A big round of applause, which means a percentage increase of 2007.44%, sir. All because of your leadership and of course all the leaders at IEEE as well as all the IITs that have been giving their support since the very start. Again, thank you so much, an absolute pleasure. We now request Professor Govindasamy Murugesan to please come on up. Professor Murugesan, sir, your experience is something that the audience awaits with their ears wide open. So yes, over to you, sir. Thank you.
Dear professors, participants, and the participants who are seeing the live streaming of this valedictory function, good afternoon to all of you. I have a very happy feel today because all the 5 days went on very well, very smoothly in an organized way. It went on very, very, very nicely, pleasantly. Thank you, Professor Varun and his team. I would see every day in the morning 9 o'clock, the very first person, Professor Varun, entered into the hall and see whether all the sessions started, and get into the hall and see whether properly it started. So every day I am able to see that, and also the team of Professor Varun and also all the other professors who also helped us. So really, thank you very much. And in future, definitely you are concentrating very much on addressing the issues of networking. As Professor Tapan sir said, it is very, very important. So not only presenting the paper, we strongly understand that So we are planning in many ways to mitigate these issues. That is, one of the ways is bringing the company into the conference. Second is having some competitions, project competitions. So by having some project competitions, we can attract a lot of young minds. So that is one of the conducting hackathon is one of the aim we have. So and also Twin City program, as Professor Prakash mentioned. So by all this way, and I hope that we are able to bring at least about 1,000 people, young minds, doing research in this information communication side in a single place. So that is our aim, and definitely with the help of all of you, definitely we will reach it. And also, at this place, I want to express a sincere gratitude, wholehearted gratitude to all the people who involved in it. Also, some people involved strongly behind the screen. To mention a few names, Dr. S. Mageshwaran, Dr. Garima, and Harishankar. So we have to mention, I have to mention these three names because they started the work from collecting the addresses of about 1 lakh participants, 1 lakh engineers. Addresses mean email address. Who are working in this information communication engineering field all over the world, and they send mail, they prepare a brochure and the promotional video and send this promotional video and brochure to almost all the 1 lakh people. So that is the way we attracted this much of people, and the world, almost all the, most of the people know the word ICCCNT, this name. So only because of these groups, I express gratitude to all these people who are working. Not only these three people, there is a big team behind them. So thank you everybody for this, making it as a grand success. And I hope the 16th will be better than this. Thank you very much.
My God, what a number. Only at IEEE, which is the world's largest technical, organizing team, can you have a database of 1 lakh? Sir, my God, that's crazy. That is huge. We request Professor Prakash to please come on up again, so for your parting words, for any words that you'd like to end with.
My sincere thanks to Dr. Varun, Tapan, Kamesh, bringing all their invaluable comments and giving a lot of insights. So I also like to say that in US we have a lot of chapters like Women in Engineers, robotic societies. So you are doing a tremendous work in robotics. But I think you can also start local chapters. I don't know what chapters we have right now, but maybe like Women in Engineers or Women in Computing, Robotic Society. So these local chapters will help you to keep in cutting edge technologies, and that's a good pathway to have networking with similar peers globally. And also you can able to connect the local companies also. So you can bring, it's a pathway to bring companies, it's a pathway to connect globally. And also there is a Spark X competitions in the robotic systems. Maybe you can participate in the competition, and someone can able to mentor you in the developed countries. And the whole idea was you can come up with the idea through robotic system, IEEE robotic system, and someone can able to mentor you from other countries. And if you complete the task, you can able to publish in robotics transactions. So maybe if you need any help, maybe we can jointly start a new chapter. I think next year on behalf of 16th ICCCNT, Packaging Society is thinking of starting a new chapter in Indore. So that's what the upcoming news. So we are having a meeting in a couple of weeks for initial discussions. So if you think regarding on behalf of ICCCNT, maybe if you are thinking you want to start any new chapters where we can able to collaborate, you are more than welcome. And the next, I'd like to conclude, the next conference will be for 6 days. The reason we are keeping 6 days is we want to bring more companies, workshops, tutorials. So my goal was, if any participant coming on day 1, we are trying to engage for the remaining 4 to 5 days. So he needs to see many things in the real time. It can be IoT, it can be machine learning, or it can be robotics. So he has to transform the knowledge when he is leaving. So, so that will be the next step. So we try to bring more on-site participants. So in that way, the conference will be uniformly distributed. So one problem, one conference. That's all I can solve. So thanks for joining. I hope I can see you everyone in indoor.
Professor Prakash is very keen on increasing the number of days every, the next segment, the next conference that has, one day gets increased. So I think by 30th, we'll have IEEE month. One entire month we'll have to, book for this show. And of course, all of us will be present, and hopefully Professor Prakash calls me again. We request Professor Tapan to please come on up. Professor Tapan, any parting note to the lovely audience?
Again, so I don't know what is happening to my throat. So, that's fine. So, effect. Yeah. So already Dr. Prakash told everything, that how he's planning for the future conferences. And the good thing is that always when he comes up with some kind of idea, he'll ping me. Tapan, can we talk tonight? So even yesterday we were discussing that how to make this conference better. So the idea, he already told all of you that he wants to make it one kind of twin conference. That means one parallelly will be in the US, in the top-notch university, and another will be in the India. And the speaker from there also, here the participant also can attend the talk parallel from there. So this is a very good idea, and also one kind of something different kind of, I can say, the innovation in conference, organizing conference, right? So I hope that maybe we can add more new component to this conference and make it better for, sharing our experience. Not our means, all of our experience through the research, innovation, and impacting the society. So I hope that you enjoyed staying here, this beautiful Mandi. So thank you very much, and we hope to see all of you again next year, most probably this time, right? In July, June, end of July. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Professor Gandhi, for educating us about the twin program. And may I recommend some desi kadha for you. Great kadhas you get in Himachal, let me say. And yeah, I can definitely join in as well. Fantastic. Thank you so much again. We request Professor Kamesh to please come on up. Sir, any parting notes from your end?
So Prakash reminded me, we have some mentors, actually our mentors, that guided us through this journey. Especially Prakash joined UNT as a student. Then we have two stalwarts actually. One of them is Professor Murali Varanasi. He is a founding chair of our department. And then there is an equally capable or equally respected person. His name is Professor Bill Buckles. So both of them have guided Prakash along also, but in fact they are also mentors. They are my guides as well. So we want to give respects to, we want to mention that they have contributed behind the screens from the very beginning. So just thank you to both of them.
absolute pleasure, and of course, we end our entire. Thank you so much, sir. We of course end the 15th ICCCNT by having none other than Professor Varun Dutt. Please come on up with a vote of thanks. Thank you so much for being such an amazing host to IEEE at the beautiful Dev Bhumi of IIT Mandi and Himachal Pradesh. Sir, this audience awaits. Thank you.
So, thank you to all for staying glued and connected. It has been almost 1.5 hours, but we got several ideas, and thank you for all your inputs. Two things I would like to add. I was just discussing with, and you mentioned about doing conferences in twin cities. This is another very infectious idea. Do it in US and India. That way you get the East and the West. And then we actually were discussing when I was just sitting with Prakash right now. He says, how can we increase footfall on the, on site? And one way is to engage what Prakash was saying, to do more tutorials, more exhibitions. We could even have a hackathon. It's like an idea where, people build some technologies, and then the last round of that happens on the ICCCNT, maybe the indoor venue, or depending upon where we want to do it. But this hackathon is very popular, and connected to that, we can give space to students to actually build the last few things or to showcase their prototypes in operation. Because when you see things working, when you see the robot running, then you realize, okay, this is how things work. Actually, that motivates me in my lab. Many of the things I do are applied, like to have a robot which tells you rather than just have a model which is boring. So the idea is that we want to encourage this, and with Prakash, with Tapan and others in the Professor Murugesa and Madam, we would actually, and of course Professor Kamesh, Professor Tripti, we would like to have this get going in the conference. One other aspect is that as part of the get-together, if we could also have more sessions where it may be relevant for jobs, it may be like we had a very nice career session, I remember, with Prachi ji, and I think that was very enthusiastically attended. Several students raised their hands. They actually mentioned, they had those difficult questions on transition and all. So I think that is another welcome thing to move forward with. And let this be an event which creates newer frameworks, which allows us to do more things innovatively. So now I come to my responsibility, and I carried a piece of paper so that I don't forget, because this is an important assignment, to deliver the vote of thanks. So firstly, I would like to say that as we end this enlightening journey through the realms of the ICCCNT, I stand before you with a heart full of gratitude and deep appreciation. This 15th edition, of course, Prakash showed the numbers, has been a remarkable exploration of knowledge, ideas, diverse perspectives, and it wouldn't have been possible without the collective efforts of all of us, including those in the background which Professor Murugesan rightly mentioned. It takes a lot of preparation to come and do this at this level, and we should be thankful to those who have made it possible. So first and foremost, I'd like to thank our Honorable Director, Professor Behera. Professor Behera was actually one who I called up 2 days before the event, said, "Sir, we would like to invite you," and he's so enthusiastic. He said, "Varun, I am not on campus. However, I would like to come and make sure I get connected." So at that day when he spoke, Varun, before, can you hear me? He was actually making sure that the connection works. 2 days before, there was an event where the connection did not work. So, and then, of course, he said, "Let's get started." And I said, "Okay, let's get started." So he's a very big inspiration for all of us, the students, the faculty on campus, the staff. He likes to lead, and we are really thankful for him for helping us. Now I'd like to sincerely thank all the distinguished speakers. Of course, Professor Kamesh started with his inaugural address, and especially who graced this platform, and with their profound knowledge and expertise. So your plenary talks, invited lectures, discussions have added immense value to our understanding of the intricate topics, particularly on the three pillars which Tapan mentioned, computing, communication, and networking, and beyond. So I also appreciate the eminent personalities who delivered various talks, diverse perspectives and things. I personally would like to thank Professor Tapan Gandhi for his kind presence. I know he is occupied in so many things at IIT Delhi, and leaving those and coming to Mandi and spending 2 days, quality days, is great. And actually, I was thinking I'm carrying on the baton from what he was doing last year at IIT Delhi. And I hope we have shown by example that yes, Mandi can also deliver better with 2,500 odd. If not, it's like almost 1,000 more. So you can now appreciate, and I hope we continue this at Indore. Yes. So next thing is I'd like to thank the organizing committee members. Professor Prakash Durasamy has led by example. I know his WhatsApp call, and it comes in the evening, and you can't escape it. And he has only a few words, but he has all the messages in it. Professor Govind Swami Murugeshan sir, for your kind wisdom. All the time you have, that day when I called a troubleshooting meeting, you were so calming and nice, and you answered all the questions one by one. It was really great to have, that interaction. Professor Balramati madam, thank you so much, and for taking all the pains in doing all the chairings of the sessions so diligently. And our Hariji, Hariji, yes. I haven't seen a person so competent and capable like him. Doesn't say too many things, but you send it and the problem gets solved. Whether it is an online session, an offline session, payment issue, and he says, and he has a smile on his face. That's the way it should be. Yes, and then, yes, yeah. Actually, that day in the troubleshooting meeting, he had joined, and then he said, okay, some questions I may not be able to answer, let me get Professor Murugesan. And then Professor Murugesan joined, so it was fantastic. Yeah, but perfect. I really appreciate. So, Professor Kamesh for visiting us all the way from US and giving us so much time, spending time with the students, giving them advice. Remember that when you visit, it also has an inspirational effect on people who are on the other side, the students, the staff. We appreciate that. And luckily, I got to discuss some nice research. Probably we will be carrying forward with Professor Kamesh's group. My colleagues, Professor Arnab Bhavsar, Professor Shubhojit, and Professor Dinesh, Professor Narendra, Professor Aditya Nigam, for chairing painstakingly diligently all the sessions and making sure they went on time and asking good questions. Personally, I saw my colleague Shubhojit asking all the right questions and making sure the student get the right advice. I would like to personally thank Ms. Nikita Ranaji for giving us such a wonderful anchoring, inspiration. I learned many things how to anchor events next time from you. It's always good to learn things. We learn things from students, we learn things from people. So that's the way. Okay, and then I would like to thank Professor Tripti Singh with all the nice comments. And ma'am come from Amrita University down south, and it has been wonderful, and I hope you connected with the people whom you wanted to, and great to have you, and hopefully we can continue this discussion. I'd like to also thank online attendees in the event. Of course, some names on the poster, especially Professor Garima Ghai and some of the people in the background. Professor Maheshwaran, yes. They have actually pulled it up. It's not easy to contact 100,000 people and let them know about the event and then cause them to actually contribute to it. So this number which you see, 2,500, is a small number, but it's a result of very large effort. Exactly, that's the other thing I was about to mention, that 400 plus reviewers have helped review so many papers. I remember when I saw this number, my first question to Prakash was, Prakash, do we have so many reviewers? He smilingly said, that is fine, we have it. I said, okay, great. So, so reassuring. So, but it is great. It's amazing, it's awesome. I would like to thank our ICCCCNT Center, ACS Lab research scholars, and even those staff who have helped us directly, indirectly, including the audio-visual team, and some of the people who have done wonders and helped us behind the scenes for making their tireless efforts in making this conference a huge success. I would like to say your dedication and hard work have created an environment conducive to learning and collaboration, which happened here. And I would like to especially thank our sponsors, our partners, IEEE, and for your generous support, for your encouragement, and for making this possible. Of course, most importantly, bringing keen, young minds, buzzing with ideas together, and making this possible. I would like to thank, not the very least, all our participants sitting up there as well, and all the participants, online, offline, who have actively engaged, asked, given, enthusiastic presentations, asked insightful questions, and making this conference a vibrant intellectual activity. We'd like to conclude the International Conference on Computing, Communication and Networking 2024. Let's carry this knowledge, inspiration and connections we have gained next year to Indore. I wish the Indore team all the best. May the spirits of inquiry and pursuit of understanding guide us in our future endeavors. Thank you again, and I wish everyone a continued journey of exploration and discovery. Jai Hind.
Professor Dutt, I'm going to say something Professor Behra and IIT Mandi may not like, but I see a very bright future in anchoring, sir. But I'm telling you, a very, very bright future. Just leave a few projects for me, sir. Just a few. I don't ask for more. What an absolute pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a big round of applause to Professor Varun Dutt? A big round of applause to IIT Mandi. Thank you so much for hosting us. A big round of applause to IEEE. Professor Prakash, what an absolute inspiration you are. Thank you. A big round of applause to all of you who've traveled far and wide from parts of the globe to parts of India. An absolute pleasure and honor to have each one of you with us. With this, I, Nikita Rana, conclude the 15th ICCCNT conference. What an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. With this, we break for lunch. Great. Absolutely amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you to everybody watching. What a pleasure to have you. And meet you very soon on the 16th ICCCNT. Thank you. Thank you all.